Good morning, everyone. The chapter that we have picked up today is from the Diary of Anne Frank from your book First Flight. Before we start with the chapter, let me tell you about the chapter sketch. In the chapter from the Diary of Anne Frank, the writer Anne Frank herself tells about her true companion, a diary. She writes everything about her life in a diary and considers it her true friend. At the time of invasion of German over Holland, her family hid itself. At that time, she started to write in her diary. She spent her adolescent years then from the outside world, and her diary kept all her secrets. So let's go through let's go through the major characters of the story, the from the diary of the Anne Frank. The one is the Anne Frank herself, a girl 13 years old, Jewish girl who writes a diary while she is hiding in Amsterdam from the Nazis during World War II. You must have studied about this in your social science about the invasion, right, during the World War. The next is Margaret Frank, who's Anne's sister, and she is 3 years older than Anne. Next is Otto Frank, Anne's father. He is a Jewish businessman who left Germany after Hitler's rise to power, hoping to find refuge in Holland. Mrs. Frank, Anne's mother, she is the source of many conflicts with Anne during 2 years that the family spends in hiding. Then Mr. Van Daan, a Jewish businessman and an associate of Mr. Frank. After this, we have Mr. Keesing, Anne's teacher, who punishes her as he gets annoyed by her talkative nature. Now, let's start with the reading of the chapter. Before you read, we should know about Anne Frank. Anneliese Marie Anne Frank, 12 June 1929 to February or March 1945. This was her birth date and the timings of death. She was a German born Jewish girl who wrote while hiding with the family and four friends in Amsterdam during German occupation of Netherlands in World War II. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after Nazis gained power in Germany. So when Nazis invaded in Germany, they gained power over there. They left the state for the refuge in Holland, but were trapped when Nazis' occupation extended into the Netherlands. As persecutions against the Jewish population increased, the family went into hiding in July 1942 in hidden rooms in her father Otto Frank's office building. They hide over there. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system where Anne she died of typhus in Bergen-Belsen within days of her sister Margot Frank. Her father Otto was the only survivor of the group. He returned to Amsterdam after the war ended to find her diary had been saved. Convinced that it was a unique record, he took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. So she made a diary. She kept a diary. She noted down everything in the diary. The diary was given to Anne Frank for her 13th birthday and chronicles the event of her life from 12 June 1942 until its final entry was on August 1, 1944. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television, and theatrical productions, and even an opera based on the diary. Described as the work of a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi's occupation. Anne Frank had become one of the most renowned and discussed of Holocaust victims. So this was just a bio and introduction about Anne Frank, her life. Now let's continue these activity. We'll do it after we end up with this chapter. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. So like me over here is Anne Frank herself. She's telling about her, she's writing about her own self in the diary. So writing in a diary is really a very different kind of experience for someone like her. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seemed to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of 13-year-old schoolgirl. Musings over here means thought. Not only because I have never written anything before. It's not like that I have written anything prior to that, but only because it seems to me that later on, like she thinks that of a 13-year-old girl, whatever the thoughts she will be writing in the diary, nobody will be interested in reading to it. So this was her thought process. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing. I have an even greater need to get all the things things off my chest. Things off my chest means whatever the things that she had in her heart. Now she thinks that I don't really care that people are interested, will be listening, will be interested in seeing to my diary, watching my diary, or reading, going through my diary. I don't give a damn care to it. It's just I feel like to write, so I'm going to write and I'm going to put all my heart out in the diary. Paper has more patience than people. This is the highlighted. The paper over here has more patience than people. If you talk about your feelings to people, some people may take fun of it, or may disclose it to someone else, or maybe get angry on you, or whatever the thing is. But paper, writing those thoughts on a paper has more patience because that is not going to do anything with it. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands. So she was putting up her hands like on her face, and she was feeling depressed, a little depressed I was feeling, and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless. Listless means with lack of energy and lack of enthusiasm, wondering whether to stay in or to go out. So she was thinking, I should stay in or I should go out. I finally stayed where I was. So she remained to the place where she is brooding. Brooding means thinking very seriously. Yes, paper does not have more patience, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff bagged notebook grandly referred to me as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit difference. So she's saying that yes, paper does have more patience. Paper is having more patience than anything else. So since I'm not planning to give this diary to anyone else who is going to read it until and unless I'm going to find a much real friend, so I will keep this diary with myself. So that won't make a bit difference in that. Now I am back to the point that prompted me. I'm back to the point that encouraged me. Prompted means encouraged me to keep a diary in the first place. I should keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. If I don't have a friend, so my diary is the only friend who I have. So I have to share all the feelings, all the thoughts with my diary only. Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. So again, I'm going to clear through my diary is that no one will believe that I, being a 13-year-old girl, I'm completely alone in the world. And I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. It's not that I'm writing a diary, I'm totally alone. Yes, I have my parents, I have my sister also. And there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything. So, on the surface that looks, that is the reality is that what it seems to be like I have everything, but except one true friend. Everyone is having one true friend in their life. So she is having lack of that true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary, everyday things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault, and that we don't confide in each other. That means tell in person, in private, to getting the trust of others. In any case, that's just how things are. Unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. She's saying that I have friends. We used to have ordinary talks, but we cannot have that talk with anyone. I cannot have that talk which is very personal to me. Another person is also there, very private, very personal things to me. That is a mutual thing. So that is why I thought of that I should start writing a diary. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty. So kindly note down the name of the diary that she kept, that Anne kept, was Kitty. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, to improve upon, to enhance, to think of, that I was waiting for that long awaited friend, that one simple friend who is going to be my best friend. So I don't want to jot down the facts in a diary. There is no point that I am going to write down the facts about like other people used to do. I'm going to simply keep this diary as my friend, that is my long awaited friend. And yes, I'm going to name my diary as Kitty. Now we have oral comprehension check questions. Question number 1 is, what makes writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank? What makes Anne Frank writing a diary that is a kind of a strange experience? It was the first time Anne was writing a diary. So the strange experience was that she was writing a diary for the first time. She felt that later on, and the second thing, she felt that later on nobody will be interested in reading about the thoughts of a young girl. As she is simply 13 years old, whatever the stuff she has, she will be writing, or she had written in the diary, maybe nobody is interested in that. Both these facts make it a strange experience for her. The second question is, why does Anne want to keep a diary? Anne wanted to keep a diary and write in it because she had a lot going in her head. There is a lot more thing that there are a lot many things that are going in her head. She had no friend with whom she can talk about with such personal stuff, very private stuff, personal thing. Thus, she decided to maintain a diary. The third question is, why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in people? She could trust more in a diary than people. That according to Anne Frank, paper has more patience than people. She chose to confide more in her diary because she felt that there was no friend who could listen to her with enough patience. So she used to trust only her diary because she thinks that there is no other friend in her life that who could be she could who would listen her with so much patience. So she definitely agrees to the fact that paper has more patience than people. Let's continue with that. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in. Plunge means to get into. I'd better provide a brief sketch of life, much as I dislike doing so. I don't like to describe about my life every time, but since Kitty is new to us and Kitty, my daddy, is new to me, so I should describe and I should make her understand about my life. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margaret was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926 and I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February when I was plunked down on a table as a birthday present for Margaret. Plunked down means I was thrown down on the I was just put over there in front of Margaret as a kind of a birthday gift. I started right away at Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6. So till 6 he stayed in the Montessori Nursery School. At the time I started in the first form, she was in the first, and in the sixth form my teacher, Mrs. Kepros, the headmistress, at the end of the year we both were in tears and we said in heartbreaking farewell. So farewell means when she was there with her grandmother staying, and then she has to go back to the Holland with where the parents were staying. Her father went over there first, then after following her mother, then her sister, and then finally she. So before taking part with the headmistress, they both were in tears. They used to have a great bond with each other. In summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. So in summer 1921, Grandma was not feeling well. She was ill and she has to undergo an operation. So her birthday passed with little celebration. There was some kind of only little celebration that time. And Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. Nobody will be aware of the fact that I love my grandmother very much and I'm still in love with her. I love her a lot. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intending to make up for the other. The grandma's candle was lit along the rest. So there were not many candles over there on my birthday, but grandma's named candle was there and which was also lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well. That brings me to the present date, 20th June 1942. We all four, my mother, father, my sister, and me, we all four are doing well till the date of 20th June 1942, and her birthday was on 12 June. So on 12 June 1942 she celebrated her birthday. There were the other candles, but one of the candles were also being lit up under the name followed by the name of grandma and the solemn dedication of my diary. And she was also very dedicated towards the diary, so she used to keep writing the diary from time to time. Now again we have some oral comprehension check question. Question number 1 is, why does Anne provide a brief sketch of her life? Why did she introduce herself? Why did she describe herself in the diary? Why did she did it? Anne feels it would be weird to just simply jot down the facts without giving her background. So, without giving the background of the person who is writing about Anne herself, there will be simply jotting down the facts and the figures. So, in case someone might read in future, he or she won't be able to and understand the vague stated facts. So, for them, this fact are going to be very vague because they don't know that person personally. They were not aware of the background of the person. So thus she decided to provide a brief sketch of her life. The next question is, what tells you that Anne loved her grandmother? The fact that Anne spent some part of her childhood with grandmother is self-sufficient to imply the connection between the two. So there was a time, as was given in the story, there was a time that when Anne used to stay with grandmother, and she had a great bond with her grandmother. They shared a very good connection with each other, and explicitly mentioned in the diary that she missed her grandmother more than anyone is aware of this fact, that she loved her grandmother till date. She used to miss her grandmother even when she died. Now, on Saturday, 20th June 1942, she wrote a diary, and that diary is being mentioned over here. How the way she has written the diary entry is being mentioned in the story. Dearest Kitty, the date is being mentioned, day is being mentioned, and she has written, Dearest Kitty, our entire class is quacking in its boots. Quacking means shaking with fear and nervousness. There are students, entire class is nervous, shaking with fear. What's the reason behind this is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers will decide who will move up the next form and who will be kept back. That is the promotion and the demotion. So this is the forthcoming meeting which is going to come, in which the teachers will decide upon the result. They will be showing us the result which will decide who is going to promote to the next class and who is going to kept back. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, CN and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet. So their holiday, for the holiday, they have made some savings, and to enjoy those holidays, they used to make some kind of savings from their pocket money, and they had bet them on that. And we were laughing, me and one of my classmates G, and we're laughing at CN and Jakes, who have made some kind of a bet. From morning to nights, it's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. I am not. And G's pleading glances and my angry burst can't calm them down. So we are also telling them you are going to pass. They are saying, no, I'm not, I'm not. Yes, you are. And it's like that conversation was going on. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of a class should be kept back, but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. So she's saying that if you think of me, many of the students are dummies over here. Quarter of the students, more than half of the students should be kept back. But teachers, they are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. You cannot predict the thoughts of a teacher, what the teacher is thinking about. I am not so worried about my girlfriends, my friends, and myself. We'll make it. I was sure that we'll make it to the next class. The only subject I'm not sure was about mathematics. Many of us do have fear of mathematics. Some people may excel in the other language subjects, but maths can be a bit on the nerves. Anyways, we all can do it. What we all can do is to simply wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. Till then, we can only share it with our friends that we should not lose hope, we should not lose heart. We are going to go through this. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. They are 9 of them. So my 9 of the subject teachers all are very good. I am very good in that, good in terms with my teachers, 7 men and 2 women. Mr. Keesing, the old foggy and old-fashioned person who teaches math, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. Naturally, there is a fact that the person who is not liking the subject, maybe not good in that subject, may not like the teacher as well. But anyways, what she's saying over here is she's very talkative in the class. So because of her that habit, her maths teacher is always annoyed on her. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework. So he has given me many of the warnings, but still I can't keep calm. She assigned me extra homework also. An essay on the subject, a chatterbox. So he gave me to write an essay on the topic, a chatterbox. Now, what can you write about that? I'd worry about that later. So, what can I write in that? I'll think of it later. I decided I jot down title in my notebook. I note down the title that the teacher has given me, and that notebook I tucked it in my bag, and I simply tried to keep quiet. That evening, after I finish up the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eyes. The moment I finish up the homeworks of the other subjects, I just reminded out my mind that I have to write an essay. That notebook came into my mind. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. So she was eating the tip of a fountain pen in her mouth and she was thinking about what is to be written. Anyone could ramble on, leave big spaces between the words. So anyone could write aimlessly for long, such a long essay they can write by how? By making the spaces in between the words, putting up the margins and all that stuff. Anyone could trick the teacher. But the trick was to come up with the convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. But what I should write is I should write that why is it necessary to talk. I should put those convincing arguments to the teacher so the teacher will also understand my thoughts. I thought and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote 3 pages. Mr. Keesing had assigned me and was satisfied. So he was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait. It's the characteristic of a student that student want to talk and students have to talk. They need to talk a lot or they are very talkative in nature. And then that I would do my best to keep it under control. The second thing which I wrote in the diary is I am going to try my level best to keep my talkative nature a little bit controllable. But I would never be able to cure myself of the habit. I won't be able to cure my talkative habit since my mother talked as much as I did, and if not more, then there is not much you can do about my inherited traits because my mother is also very talkative. I have inherited this nature from her, and you, as a teacher, cannot help it, cannot do anything with it. So that is why you can do. So that is why kindly accept the fact that I won't be able. Yes, I'll try to make a control in my talkative nature, but that's my trait, that's the characteristic or the feature that I have inherited from my parents. So kindly bear with that. Till here we'll end up, and tomorrow we will be continuing with this.